You are a prisoner of time. You feel its pressure in the frantic beating of your heart when you are late, in the quiet anxiety that accompanies a deadline, in the deep sorrow that visits when you remember what once was and can never be again. Your entire reality is structured around this relentless, linear progression: past, present, future, a river that seems to carry you inexorably from birth to death, leaving you clinging to memories and grasping at futures that never seem to arrive. This is the world of the clock, the calendar, the schedule. It feels undeniably real, the most solid foundation of your existence. But what if this river of time is not what it appears to be? What if the past is not truly behind you, and the future is not ahead, but both are alive and accessible in a way that defies all your conventional understanding? The great Andalusian mystic, Ibn Arabi, unveiled a secret about the nature of time 8 centuries ago that was so radical, so revolutionary, it could only find its echo in the most cutting-edge discoveries of our own era, the world of quantum physics. He revealed that what we experience as time is merely a surface phenomenon, a shadow cast by a much deeper, more dynamic reality, and that understanding this secret is the key to your ultimate liberation. Ibn Arabi, in his monumental work Futuhat al-Makkiyya, the Meccan Revelations, introduced the concept of al-zaman, al-wahid, the single time. He did not see time as a line, but as a single, eternal now that is in a state of perpetual, divine recreation. At every infinitesimal moment, the entire universe is being annihilated and recreated by God. What you perceive as the flow of time is actually the succession of these divine manifestations, each moment a unique, self-contained universe, a day of the divine event as mentioned in the Quran. The past does not vanish, it exists eternally in its own state of having been created. The future is not unformed, it exists in its state of being yet to be manifest. Your consciousness, however, is conditioned to experience these states in a sequence, creating the powerful, convincing illusion of linear time. This is not merely philosophy. For Ibn Arabi, this was a direct mystical insight into the very fabric of creation, a glimpse behind the curtain of what the Sufis call Tajalli, the theophany of God at every instant. Meanwhile, in the laboratories of modern physics, scientists probing the nature of subatomic particles stumbled upon a paradox that shattered their classical understanding of reality. Quantum physics revealed a world where particles can be in multiple states at once, where the act of observation itself determines the outcome, and where the concepts of before and after become blurred. The Wheeler-DeWitt equation, a cornerstone of quantum gravity, suggests a static universe where time is an emergent property, not a fundamental one. Physicists like Carlo Rovelli speak of the end of time, proposing that our perception of its flow was a result of our limited, thermodynamic consciousness. The parallels are staggering. Ibn Arabi's divine recreation at every moment finds its echo in the quantum description of reality as a series of discrete events. His single time resonates with the block universe theory of modern cosmology. The secret that Ibn Arabi received through mystical revelation is now being approached, from a completely different angle, by the most advanced science of our age. Both paths are converging on the same astonishing truth: the river of time is an illusion, and you are not a leaf being carried by its current, but the very awareness in which the entire river appears to flow. If time is not a river, then what is the nature of this moment, this ever-elusive now that you are experiencing? Ibn Arabi provides a breathtakingly precise answer. This present moment is not a point on a line, but an entire universe in itself. He called it al-waqt, the moment, the spiritual opportunity, the now, and described it as a sword because it cuts off the past and the future, leaving only the pure, immediate presence of the divine manifestation. In his cosmology, God is not in time, time is in God. Each now is a unique, self-contained revelation of one of God's infinite names. One moment is the manifestation of al-Jamil, the beautiful, the next is the manifestation of al-Qahar, the subduer. What you perceive as the continuity of your life is actually a succession of these completely independent, divine events or days, each with its own cosmic reality. The past you mourn is a specific divine manifestation that has concluded its appearance. The future you fear is another divine manifestation that has not yet arrived in your experiential field. But both exist eternally in the knowledge of God, who is the first and the last, the manifest and the hidden. This is where the secret of time intersects directly with the quantum mystery. In quantum mechanics, the act of observation is what collapses a particle's wave function from a cloud of potential states into a single, definite reality. Before observation, the particle exists in a superposition. It is, in a sense, all possible states at once. Ibn Arabi's day of event is the mystical equivalent of this collapse. Your consciousness, your focused awareness, is the observer that engages with the eternal, superpositional field of divine possibilities and gives rise to your specific, experienced reality. The past is a series of collapsed wave functions, fixed in your memory. The future is the vast, uncollapsed potentiality of divine names waiting to be manifest. The present is the very knife edge of this continuous creation, the moment of collapse where divine command, AMR, meets conscious receptivity. This is why the Quran states, God is closer to you than your jugular vein, for He is the very substance and source of each collapsing and arising moment. Understanding this secret transforms your relationship with existence. The anxiety that comes from clinging to the past is the futile attempt to relive a divine manifestation that has completed its cycle. The fear that comes from anticipating the future is a misunderstanding, a grasping at possibilities that have not yet been chosen for manifestation by divine wisdom. Your power, your only true agency, lies in how you meet this now. Do you meet it with presence, with surrender, with the openness of a heart that recognizes it as standing directly before its Lord? Or do you meet it with the distractions of a mind lost in the ghosts of past manifestations or the phantoms of future ones? To live in the waqt is to be a quantum mystic, to understand that your state of consciousness in this very instant is actively participating in the divine act of creation. It is to realize that you are not a passive passenger in time, but a co-creator of your experienced reality, moment by sacred moment. The clock on the wall measures nothing but a useful illusion. The only time that is real is the eternal now in which you are forever meeting and being met by intellectually God is one thing. To live it is the very essence of spiritual liberation. The realization that you are standing at the knife edge of continuous creation in every moment is not meant to be a fascinating philosophical concept, but a transformative practice that rewires your entire being from a state of anxiety to a state of profound surrender and power. This is where Ibn Arabi's revelation moves from the page and into the pulse of your daily life. The path to mastering the moment begins with a simple, yet radical, shift in attention. You must train your awareness to inhabit the waqt, the spiritual now, with the same intensity that your mind currently wastes on the phantom past and the imagined future. This is the practice of Hudur al-Qalb, the presence of the heart. It is the heart, in its Sufic understanding as the organ of spiritual perception, that can truly apprehend the divine manifestation occurring right now. The mind can only record and anticipate, the heart can commune. The practical method is deceptively simple, yet its implications are infinite. Begin with the breath, for the breath is the physical anchor of the eternal now. Each inhalation is a new creation, a fresh divine command bringing life to your body. Each exhalation is a letting go, a small surrender, a completion of a cycle. As you breathe, feel the entire universe being recreated within you. With the in-breath, the world arises. With the out-breath, it dissolves. In the brief, silent pause between them, touch the timeless source from which both emerge and into which they return. In this space, the divine name Al-Hayy, the ever-living, becomes not a word, but a reality you are breathing. As you cultivate this, you begin to apply it to every experience. When a thought of a past regret arises, acknowledge it as a ghost from an already completed divine manifestation, and gently return your heart's attention to the creation happening now. When anxiety about a future event grips you, recognize it as a shadow cast by a possibility that has not yet been chosen for manifestation, and reaffirm your trust in the divine wisdom that will govern that future waqt when it arrives. This consistent practice transforms you into what Ibn Arabi called the insan al-kamil, the complete human. You become a perfect mirror, a pure consciousness that reflects each divine name as it is manifest in the successive days of event, without clinging to the one before or craving the one after. You move through life with a fluid grace, because you are no longer resisting the fundamental nature of reality, which is perpetual, divine change. A loss does not destroy you, for you know it is the conclusion of a specific manifestation. A success does not inflate you, for you know it is a temporary gift from a particular divine name. You are rooted in the nodding and the recreation. This is the ultimate freedom that quantum physics hints at and Ibn Arabi maps with sublime precision, the freedom from the psychological tyranny of linear time. You are no longer a prisoner of the clock, but a master of the moment, a conscious, willing, and loving participant in the endless, breathtaking dance of divine self-disclosure, meeting each new creation with a heart that is fully present, fully surrendered, and fully alive. If every moment is a new creation, a fresh universe manifested by divine command, then what becomes of your life story? What of destiny, that unchangeable script written before time began? And what of free will, that burning sense of choice that feels so fundamentally your own? This is the great crossroads where faith meets physics, where the soul's journey encounters the laws of creation. Ibn Arabi, with breathtaking sophistication, reveals that there is no contradiction. Destiny, or qadar, is not a fixed, linear movie that you are forced to watch, but the eternal, complete knowledge of God. In the divine presence, which exists outside of time as we perceive it, your entire life, every choice, every breath, every possible version of you across all potential timelines is known simultaneously in a single, timeless instant. This is the block universe of the mystic, where past, present, and future are eternally present to the divine. Your free will is the mechanism through which this eternal knowledge is sequentially unfolded and experienced within the realm of time. Imagine the divine knowledge as a vast, infinite ocean. Your soul is a unique vessel, designed with a specific shape, purpose, and capacity. This is your primordial destiny, your al-qada. As you sail through the ocean of time, your free will is the rudder. You can choose your direction, how you respond to the waves and the winds. But the ocean itself, its composition and its laws, is the eternal divine knowledge. The path you take is your al-qadar, the manifested destiny that results from the interaction between your vessel, your soul's essence, and your rudder, your free will, upon the ocean, divine knowledge. This is the barzakh, the isthmus, the interface where the eternal meets the temporal. In quantum terms, the divine knowledge is the full, uncollapsed wave function containing all possibilities. Your consciousness, your intention, your prayer, your action, these are the acts of observation that collapse one specific possibility into the manifested reality of your waqt. You are both the experiment and the experimenter, navigating a field of divine potentiality. This understanding illuminates the true purpose of the soul's journey. You are not here to fulfill a predetermined checklist, but to actively participate in the divine self-disclosure through the unique lens of your own existence. Each choice you make, each moment you meet with presence or neglect, is a collapse of a quantum possibility into the solidity of your lived experience. This is why prayer and intention are so powerful in the Sufi path. They are not pleas to change God's mind, but profound acts of focusing your consciousness, your observational power, toward a specific, beautiful possibility within the divine knowledge, making it more likely to be the one that manifests in your next day of event. Your destiny, therefore, is not a prison, but a relationship, a dynamic, living dialogue between your will and the divine will. As you align your rudder with the deeper currents of the ocean, as you surrender your small will to the grand will, you experience not a loss of freedom, but its ultimate fulfillment. You begin to choose what God has always known you would choose in His perfect knowledge, the path of love, of return, of conscious union. You discover that your free will was never meant to separate you from God, but to be the very means by which you willingly, joyfully, and consciously return to Him. Not a distant mystery to be solved, but a living truth to be breathed. It resides not in the distant cosmos or in the complex equations of physicists, but in the intimate, immediate space between your heartbeats, in the silent turning of your awareness from memory to presence. Ibn Arabi's revelation and quantum physics discovery both converge upon a single, stunning invitation to awaken from the dream of linear time and become a conscious citizen of eternity, right here, right now, in the midst of your ordinary, extraordinary life. You are not a being on a timeline, but a field of divine consciousness through which the timeless chooses to express itself in a glorious, ever-unfolding sequence. Your very breath is the pulse of this creation. With each inhalation, the universe is gifted to you anew. With each exhalation, you release it back to its source. This is your perpetual, participatory role in the cosmos, to be the grateful witness, the willing vessel, the loving space in which the divine names bloom and fade, only to bloom again in another form. This is the ultimate empowerment and the ultimate surrender. You are empowered because you now understand that your consciousness holds a profound creative power. The quality of your attention in this moment, whether it is bound by regret and fear, or freed by presence and trust, directly influences the reality that manifests for you. You are surrendering because you recognize that you are not the creator of the ocean of possibilities, but a conscious wave upon it. Your task is not to control the ocean, but to learn its currents, to align with its flow, and to trust its wisdom implicitly. This is the path of the quantum soul, to make choices with full presence and responsibility, while simultaneously knowing that every outcome is a manifestation of a divine name meant to polish your heart and return you to your essence. Your life ceases to be a problem to be managed and becomes a revelation to be received, moment by holy moment. You now carry a secret that the world desperately needs. In an age of frantic haste and digital distraction, you can become an island of eternal now. You can meet stress with the breath of recreation. You can meet change with the heart of surrender. You can meet others with the eyes of one who sees not their past story, but their eternal, ever-new essence. You are the bridge between the ancient and the modern, the mystical and the scientific. You are the proof that the greatest secrets of the universe are written not only in stars and atoms, but in the silent, sacred rhythm of your own being. The journey of understanding time ends where it began, in the miracle of your own awareness. Do not seek to master time. Seek to master your presence within it. For when you are fully present, you will discover that you have always been, and will always be, standing in the center of eternity, breathing the infinite in a single, eternal breath. This was the secret that bridges a 13th century mystic and a 21st century laboratory, revealing that the greatest frontier is not space, but time itself. But this understanding deepens through sharing. What single daily activity, driving, washing dishes, waiting in line, will you now choose to transform into your practice of witnessing the eternal now? Share your commitment in the comments. Let's create a collective field of presence. And if you are ready to see how this understanding of time completely reshapes the nature of prayer and destiny, your next revelation awaits in the video that appears now. The Sleeping Sovereign Within, Ibn Arabi's Forgotten Path to Inner Kingship.